Hey guys, so here I am now in what's going to be my third or fourth Super Duty truck. Anyways, it's a Dodge Ram. Well, they call it a Ram now, just a Ram. So it's a Ram 2500 with diesel 6.4 or 6.7 inline 6-liter motor. So it's got about 850 pound-feet of torque, and it's got what, 370 horsepower. So not as good as like a Ford F-250, for example, right? Because that's got like over 1,000. The weird thing about the Ram is that if you get a 3500, that comes out with a high output diesel, and that'll get you into that 900 or 950 pound-feet of torque and slightly more horsepower. But this is just a little bit undertuned or detuned, and I don't know why they do that. But a little annoying, honestly, but still more than enough power to do the things that I need to do. I had an F-250 before this, or an F-350 before this, and you can watch videos on that on my YouTube here. But picking this up, first impressions, it drives really well, right? It handles really, really good on the road. I have no problems with the way it drives whatsoever. I did go through a little hairy thing where I had to kind of stop real fast, and the back did kind of swerve a little bit, but that may have just been me. I'm waiting to test it out, of course, a little bit more, but that was one thing that I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But besides that, drives really well, and I don't know, I have to get used to the way it looks. I honestly like the way a Ford F-250 looks, so looks-wise, I've been trying to get used to it. I know that these are highly modifiable, right? Like, I know AEV does that Prospector, and tons of parts out there aftermarket, so I'll be looking into that, seeing exactly what I can do with this. What is the idea? The idea is I tow. So I needed something that tows a little bit more than my G63. And the G63 is a nice vehicle, don't get me wrong, and I would love to just have one vehicle, but it just doesn't tow that well, you know, and especially for being a short wheelbase vehicle, and at what, 7,000 pounds with a 552 tongue weight rating, that really takes out a lot of things that you may want to tow. For example, a 25-foot Airstream has 880 pounds worth of tongue weight, so you wouldn't be able to tow that. And then there's just the comfort part of it, right? That same trailer is what, 6,000 pounds dry, and then loaded up, it's about 7,600, or is that the 27-foot? One of the two, but either way, that cuts you way too close to what your maximum should be. This, I'm going to have to verify, but this should tow that, well, it'll tow it with ease, right? But I think I'm at a tow rating of conventional of about 14,000 maybe. I'll have to confirm that, so don't quote that. But that's the idea of this vehicle, to be able to tow something like that, and not to mention yard work, picking up sod, all that kind of stuff. But I love the interior of this vehicle. Like, as I'm talking to you right now, it's not loud at all in here, and which is a good and a bad thing, right? My Ford F-250, that was a powerful vehicle. Like, my engine was powerful. It felt like a power plant. So this is a little bit more silent. You know, there's a quietness to it. The interior itself, just absolutely nice interior. All the things that they did that I feel like they didn't need to do, from the switches and the knobs. I mean, it's just really, really well done. And it's also the outgoing 2022, because I know they're coming up with they got a 2023 out now, and with some slight differences. I think the tone mirrors are different. I'm not sure what else, but as far as this is concerned, this is good. This is good. I like the dash. The only thing I really don't like about this vehicle is the wing mirrors so far, right? And I just got it. So the wing mirrors they're just a little ridiculous. Like, they stick out too far, and they're in landscape mode, right? If you were to look at a picture, they're more in landscape mode than what I think they should be, which is more like a portrait mode, which I think would make them look a whole lot better. They got some cool features. You know, they'll spin up to the side, or they'll spin up into portrait mode, which is kind of cool, but you can't drive like that most of the time, I don't think, because it doesn't look too good when it's spun up like that. But for practical purposes, of course, that's completely different, right? That's a cool feature to have. But I don't want to take up too much time on this video. The idea is just pick this up. It's a cool vehicle. It drives really well, nice and silent in the cab. The exhaust notes, not what you would want to hear on a diesel engine, you know, being an inline six, but you know, I'm willing to kind of overlook that a little bit. Looking forward to towing, right, and getting some numbers on that for you guys, or some towing experience on that to see exactly how it goes. But so far, I'd like to say I think it's a good vehicle. It's a good purchase, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun modifying it, right? I'm going to look at a lift kit of some sort, maybe a leveling kit. I'm not trying to jack it up, but if you guys watched, I got a video on here with Rocky Ridge. They're a company that Chrysler kind of allows to modify the vehicles and maintain your factory warranty or whatever. And I don't want to get into an argument about maintaining factory warranties with lifts, but regardless, they've got a lift kit. I think it's about 5-inch lift kit that they do on them, and they look really, really good. I actually went in and I almost bought a Laramie, like a 1500, but last minute I was like, you know what? I think I need a 2500. 1500 Laramie would have still towed an Airstream, but I don't know. It drove really well, don't get me wrong, but it was more like a car to me than it was a truck. The 2500 sits higher and is more trucky, so I went with the 2500. So I'll do a walkthrough, hopefully maybe this weekend here, kind of show you guys the inside, the outsides. Right now I got a bunch of junk in here from just moving it from one car to the other, but this is looking good so far. Really excited. Love the interior. No sunroof because I just didn't want to deal with it. All right, so that's it for right now. I'll catch up with you guys when I do a walkthrough, do an inside and outside walkthrough, kind of show you guys some of the features that it has. And until then, peace.